Good morning, traders. What is going on? Hope everyone is having a wonderful start to the day and to your year so far. Happy to have you here. Let's get the links sent out a few places and we'll get to rocking and rolling. Let's do that really quick. Okay, place number one. And place number two incoming, and then we'll look at taking some trades here. Okay. Cool, cool, and cool. Make sure my audio is good. Sweet. Okay, okay, okay. Good morning. Good morning to Ron, Jack, Todd. What is going on? Royal, Alan, welcome. Good morning to my friends. Let's see. Alan recently subscribed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You should have access, Jack. I signed up for the indicator this morning. You should, Jack, depending on when you signed up, but let me double check. I don't know if I have seen anybody here. I have a Jerry. Jerry signed up at 7:45. I didn't add that one. Let's see. Probably not. Let's see. Desmond, there's Gary. I got a few I have to add this morning, it looks like, but doesn't look like anybody has access. Gary, okay, let me see 1 second here. Gary, let's see if I can get you access really fast since you said something. I won't normally do this, but let's see. Gary Bridgman. All right. I'll get you added here a couple places and then I won't send you the email, but I'll get you added here really quick so you can access everything. And 13. Cool. All right, you have access. Gary, if you want to log out, or Jack rather, if you want to log out, log back in, you will then see everything. You have to go to your invite only and it'll appear. Turn my heater off really fast. It's a bit hot this morning. All right. Let's get to work here. Nice. Nice. Versed Films, great work. 456 USD in my eval, awesome. What Versed Films, what eval, what company are you trading with? Happy to hear which one you chose. I'm not affiliated with any of them, so I'm gonna go one contract on all my trades right now. We're gonna start with our Express account per usual, and then we'll transition and pivot to one of our evals. Probably gonna end up being maxed out on evals that we can have here pretty soon because we'll have 5 accounts that we can trade with 5 Express accounts. So let's see. Rejection, obviously, right here, this level. In case that one's something. And then kind of up here too, like this range right here. So we'll see, what ends up happening with all of this right now. But kind of what I'm thinking is let's see if we can get price to hold above this level first, and then we might have ourselves a nice little trade, which would be outside the channel, so that would make sense. So we'll kind of wait to see what price wants to do here. VWAP is all the way down here, all the way down here. So not really anything to be worried about. We did touch it earlier this morning, right before the open, and then at the open, which was this candle here, nice little melt up. And this action is really hard to trade. Anything that kind of like looks like this, where you've got kind of a back and forth movement and then big candles on both sides, and it seems pretty unpredictable. Yet we're still going in a certain direction. Typically, you do want to wait for price to flatten out a bit, kind of what we're getting right here. So let me see if I can draw it really fast. We get a move up here. I want the other one. We get a move up here, right? And then we go flat. Now from here we could go down or we could go up, but when it's choppy like this, it's just back and forth. Like this is, you have to be really careful and pick your spots because it's hard to trade. Ideally, we'd want to wait for price to flatten out and then make a new move. And we could be choppy like all morning. That's also very reasonable. It could happen, but we'd want to be patient here. And I want to see price get outside the channel one way or the other, this side or down or the downside. Now, every time we've gotten close to the downside, we've rejected pretty good. So rejected up here. We had a touch over here, but buyer stepped in. We also had a touch down here. We tried to at least. Buyer stepped in. So I'm not looking for shorts just yet, but if I was, I need to see a big candle here first, kind of break out and hold, wait for reversal, then we get into that trade, if that makes sense. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 50K, trade of 8, Apex. Nice, gotcha. What's good, Mike? What's going on? Nice. Good work, Mike. That's awesome. Great job. You're killing it. Great, great, great work. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Do this really fast. So not a whole lot going on just yet. We will get some action. That is undeniable, but I gotta wait for it first. All right. Okay. Happy to have everyone here. We're at 23 of you guys already. So very excited about that. Our page and channel is growing really fast, so which is great. We had a couple of videos that kind of went a bit, I guess they got more views than I typically do. And so a lot of you guys saw those videos, and that is how you ended up here, which is great. So happy to have everyone. Okay. All right. Okay. So a short doesn't look too nasty to me right here. I kind of like a little short position, price to come down, but I'm not taking that trade just yet. This isn't the trade I want to be taking. When price is this choppy, I really want to look for like, so price will move like this. It'll move big up and down, and then the moves will get smaller, right? And you can still trade any one of these, like up here or down here. Obviously, you can trade these trends, you can trade these trends, but you can also trade these rejections up here and down here, right? Even if price is getting smaller, you can still do that because these are all opportunities, okay? But let's get this out of the way now. When price is completely flat like this, you don't really have a great edge. There's no real there's not a whole lot to trade right here. We've gotten a couple bounces right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of right there, but nothing consistent. And so we'd like to see at least price push up first and then smoothly reject and then come down here and then smoothly reject and go back up. We'd like to see at least a little bit of that, a couple of candles in a row. That would give us some at least some semblance of pattern that we could recognize and trade. But if we don't get that right now, then we just can't. Like we kind of have like price down here and we could buy, and then every time price gets up here, we could sell, but it gets pretty choppy pretty fast. And then there isn't a whole lot of great movement. And because the ATR is, well, it's at 19 now, so that's 18, that's okay. But ATR being high could really flush you out of a lot of trades. So we got to be patient and just wait and see what happens here. Okay. Okay. We have here at Network here in St. Louis, Missouri, where I'm located. We had like I'm gonna call it 9 inches of snow. It was quite the show. So snowed in today. Not that I need to go anywhere anyway, but a lot of snow in St. Louis. I know other places got some snow as well. So hopefully you guys are doing okay. Damn, we're gonna have to sit and watch this morning, I guess. Sit and wait. So for a lot of you guys that are new, one of the easiest ways to figure out if we're in a trend or not is to just use the meter down here. A lot of you guys have the circles, which you can easily change. So you would just go from, like right now, it looks like this. So all you would do is go to style, click the little circle, and then change it to, whatever you wanted. You could do a cross, you could do a flag, you could do whatever you want. I like the square, just makes it easy to see. It looks kind of like one big piece. But if this turns blue, then we've got ourselves a nice little a trend, or at least a version of a trend. But so far today, it hasn't really been clean any way you look at it, and so we'll wait and see what happens here. But I've had buyers step in right here, okay, and then in here, and if we can get price to start sloping up like this, like that'd be nice. Now it's not going to happen like that, obviously, but it could happen where we get a couple candles that just start to build on themselves a little bit, and then maybe we get a pop. And ideally that pop happens and we get above and we close above that level up there. Okay, so let's be patient. Look at the 5 minute here. 5 minute looks exhausted, like we've trying again, and we could be coming back down. So that's interesting. 10 minute looks very similar. We've bounced on the channel a couple times, so interesting. And then the 15 minute, same-ish idea. We tried it again, we're trying again. So I'm not necessarily sure in which way price wants to go just yet. But I'm here to wait for it and see what happens. Okay, let's see what we got. So there are one last update that will occur is while price is inside the channel, we're going to take these labels off. I feel like a lot of you guys, not a lot of you guys maybe, but a lot of the traders who try it out and don't understand what's going on, they don't read or look at any instructions. They just take every single signal that they get, which is the most reckless thing you could do. But while price is in the channel, we don't really want to use these signals. There's no point. That's kind of why we have the rejection labels, is to trade. Here we go. Is to trade some of the price action that happens inside the channel. But while it's in the channel, we don't want to use these predictions. We want to wait for trend, and a break of trend, or a trend rather, is outside the channel here. Okay, let's see what we got. See if we can get price to hold outside the channel. If we can, great. So this candle doesn't look like we're going to get that just yet. Okay, so we're going to wait one more, and then we're going to see. And then we're going to see. Potentially, yeah. 88.5, where is that? So it looks like we get there around. Did we touch that? Let's see, we would have. 21.885. Oh, it's on 8. I'm sorry, up here. Whoa, okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, maybe. Not yet. I was thinking it was below, not above. Sorry. Yeah, good call. We'll see what we get here. One thing I'll repeat this every time we trade, which is um, if this trade is a real trend, then one candle will not be meaningful to your overall trading. Okay, if this move is to be a long move here, missing out on one candle isn't going to be the end all be all. Now this isn't the best example, but it's what we have for today. But same thing here. The reason we're not going to rush into this trade is, well, it wouldn't have worked out too well, as you can see. Holy cow, this would be a long potentially right here. Number one. But the second thing would be, see how the labels kind of flip back and forth? We don't want to trade inside the channel. The second thing would be that if this move is going to extend, then we'll have opportunities. We're not going to chase that one specifically. So, but now we got price really pushing. So buyer stepped in and said, we're not going lower than this level here. So interesting. Let me pull my nose really fast. There we go. We are back. Clicked in. Okay. So, kind of you mentioned before, now these candles getting bigger is interesting because we're seeing some real aggression here. So price flying down, price flying back up. That's great. Want to see that. But we're not getting any like consistency. The market's not really consistent with us right now. We've got back and forth, red, green, just none of it looks smooth. So we'll kind of have to wait here and see what happens. It did. Shit's crazy. I'm scalping for $200 trades only today. Yeah, no doubt, Mike. Until it opens up, that's the move. Is to just wait it out and see what happens. The thing about trading is that you will get the move you're looking for. It just might not happen at the time that you want it to happen. And one of the what is that? One of the things that I've had to grow in as a trader is understanding that is like we have to wait. Like we're going to get the moves we're looking for. It just might not happen when we want it to happen, and that's okay. All right, so let's see. We got price trying. Okay, trying. Model still likes to sell here, and I'm not ultra convinced, but this is why I don't want to end the channel for this. Okay, pull back. Now the channel is basically the average range of price. Okay, so being inside the channel is not an unnormal thing. It's very common. It's pretty much where price wants to be consistently. All right, that's not going to hold, I don't think, unless it really flies. It's going to have to really fly. for it to hold. Zoom out and see what we got. Anything on the 1 minute chart? How about the 10-minute chart? Okay, so getting back to up here, I guess. All right. Okay, 1 minute is cruising. That's the 2 minute. All right, so we should have ourselves a nice little trade set up here. We should. Should is the key word here. All right, so we need this candle to hold above this resistance right here. So let's see if we can get that to hold. If we can, let's wait for a moderate pullback and then we can jump into this one. Okay, so no pullback just yet. Kind of opened up that high, which is no fun. Okay, let's see. All right, gonna wait. Now, the reason I didn't take this trade to start is obviously if the candle opens up and runs in our favor, that's good for the overall like trend of the market, but it's not good for us because there isn't any real edge. Had we gotten in at the open, or at least the fill we could have gotten at the open, we'd be down like deep right now. And so we really have to be patient here and let these trades come to us. If we had that pullback here first, that would have been a nice indication that we are going to go long here, and I would have gotten into that trade. But we opened up green first, then we pulled back into red, and so now I'm gonna let this candle figure itself out. Maybe we wait for a pullback here, then we go. Let's see what we got. Okay. I'll go long right there. Ooh, not the best of fills at all. Okay, so we're gonna have to eat some drawdown here. And it could get ugly pretty fast. Whoa. All right. Big rejection. Let's hold it out for a second. Damn, what the hell? Of course the one we get into is the biggest of pullbacks. Okay, 340, 330. This one getting back to even is going to be very difficult. Let's see what happens on this candle here. See if buyers can step in and push price up, or if I'm not going to get any support and we're going to have to get out of this one. Okay. Let's see. So huge pullback, which is why we trade with one contract right now. ATR is really high. And so if we were in two contracts, this would have been a really ugly trade. But we're able to hold this one okay. So let's see, 330, 285. So we're kind of fighting to get back up here a little bit. Let's see what this candle wants to bring us. Let's get these drawings out of the way. Looks like if we can get down just $100 or so, that'd be solid. Let's see if price can roll or if we're gonna fly down. Okay. We're trying. Okay, 210, 150, minus 240, minus 220. We'll see what happens here. When you follow your stop loss, what is that, Snoopy? I typically don't. Bit Pro, yeah, I'll add you after today. If I don't get to it in the morning, then we'll have to just wait for it in the afternoon. Snoopy, I typically don't. I like to use cash as or the stop loss take profit dollars as my stop loss. And typically this doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't typically use the our new candle. Can we get to even on this one? Wow. Profit? Move? Down 10? Come on, I know you're a fighter. Let's go. Wow. Okay, I got out of that one just to clear out. We're up $20 in our account here. We really got saved on that. That was probably the worst trade you guys are going to see from me today, but wow. So I guess a learning lesson on this one specifically is, so we had price push up and really difficult to see what was going to happen. Like it's really hard to predict this massive drop here. Like it just is difficult. But we get a nice little, we try to push up here. We see that. And then we get this big drop. Now I could have just waited a little bit longer and I had a better fill and then I would have been profitable in this trade. Like that would have been the best solution, is just wait a tad longer. But what I looked at when I thought I was going to get into this trade, I really kind of liked our position. Let's put a horizontal right there. So tricky one here because this one does meet and like hit all the rules. We just had to hold it a really long time and I would have made a little bit more money had I held a little bit longer, but it just was a really choppy trade. And that's par for the course today. We shouldn't expect a clean move, which I should have known and should have, very well anticipated this. We shouldn't expect a clean move up like this, considering how nasty it's been this entire morning. Right? Even this move up where the market's up, I think a full percent today or and change. Yeah, Qs are up almost over a point and a half. Even though it's been up, it's ugly as hell. And so I shouldn't have expected that we would get this candle to just pull back and launch, kind of like I wanted it to. I was kind of expecting this candle to look like this one. Does that make sense? I thought I was going to get this green candle right here on this candle, and I thought I'd get a couple points. We'd get out of this one with plus 250 or so. Didn't happen. So now we got price really rejecting right here. So that's interesting. Let's see what happens with that. But the overall consensus is that we are going up. Now, Snoopy, you asked a question. In case, at what point do you cut your trades? So, Snoopy, great questions because I'm gonna get to this. At what point do I cut my trades? Well, it depends. Depends on what we're trading, when we're trading, and how it's looking. So, if I have an upward move, let's just look at the markets for a second, just as an overall thought. So, a lot of green, right? Everything is basically green today for the most part. The 10-year is the 1 year's down, the 10 year's up. I can't believe 10 years up that high, but whatever. So if I'm in the trend, okay, if I'm trading with the trend, which is up, then I can hold this trade a little bit longer because the average momentum is up. That's one. Two, inside of this Express account, I'm up 500 bucks already. And so to give back 400 bucks isn't a big deal. And to be pretty clear, I would say that my average win in this account is about 300 bucks, but I max out a couple times at $400 to $500. And so a stop loss being in the upper medium of what my average like higher wins are is pretty normal. So for example, Friday, we made that 5 and change, whatever that was. That was that 2 trades? I think it was 2 trades. It's like 3. I think we made like 3 something, or maybe it was a little like 4. But for the most part, if my average win is going to be around 300 bucks or so, maybe even closer to $400, then that's what my stop will be. It'll be pretty close to where my wins are. I'm not going to have, I shouldn't have at least, I'm going to say this, I should not have a trade where I lose double or triple my larger wins. That should not happen. That's how you blow up accounts. But if I'm going to win, I don't know, 75, 80%, I've been pretty good lately, trading closer to like 100% inside of these Express accounts. If I'm going to be trading it that way, then I can afford to have a loss that's pretty sizable, or at least even my largest win, because I know I'm going to win all the other ancillary trades, right? So maybe we have a move right here, which would be nice. It could get ugly. It could be really choppy. So we're going to have to wait and go another 1 contract on this next trade here. But if I'm talking about this before, but I think that video has like 40 views. So, but mark out all your wins and losses, like your size of like how big your wins and losses are. And then just like figure out what your largest loss and largest wins are. And those should be even. And if you're winning 60% of your trades or 70% of your trades, ideally, even more ideal rather, then you can lose like big trades that are the same size as your bigger wins and still be very profitable. Okay, those 2 big ones cancel each other out, and then you should have a lot more wins than losses, and that will allow you to really grow and scale your account. So do I use a stop loss? Not really. It's there because people are like, hey, we probably should have a stop loss on that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But I don't typically use it. Ideally, if I can get a big enough pullback, I would love to enter a trade like right here. It just doesn't happen all that often. It is, Ron. It's going to push. We'll see. Bottom channel, Mike. Yes. Buy Pro. Yes, you will get added later today. So hang tight with me. You will get your free trial later, probably after this live stream. So hang tight in there. What in the world? The setup automation to automatically add to the free trial is one of the more difficult things I did not anticipate having to do. It is very, very technical. I did not expect that. And so I would love to just, as soon as you guys put in your ask for the free trial, then it would automatically add you access, assuming you haven't had a free trial before. But it's very technical. And so I'm going to need to probably hire a programmer to build out something. I have seen where people put their stuff into Discord. I've seen that, but yeah, it's tough. And then to prevent people from getting just getting free trial to free trial to free trial is also very hard too. So it's going to be manual for a while. Maybe I'll hire somebody to do it, like, just a couple dollars an hour to take care of it. But We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I'll add you after. Today is a watch and learn kind of experience, and then later today you'll have access, and then we can be live all trading together tomorrow. Okay, so you guys see how ugly this is right here? We've been live for about a half hour or a little less than that, and we haven't had any real moves. We've seen two candles in a row. So in our trend, we get two nice candles, no real pullbacks on them. Here's two, here's three rather, here's two, and then here's this one. And so we're definitely getting upward movement, which is great. We're just not getting smooth movement, which is probably more important than up or down, is smoothness. Like if we get choppy all the way through, it's really hard to predict that. But if we get smoothness all the way through, then we can very easily say, okay, price gets up here, we can sell. Price gets down here, we can buy. But right now, we're not getting that. So inside the channel now we're basically closing in on the middle of the channel. So we're going to wait. Ron, did we hit your level? Did we get there yet? We were like a point or two shy. I think it was. You said 885. Yeah, Ron, you're pretty on it. 885, and we peaked out at 882. That sounds about right. If you're hunting those fair value gaps, then yeah, that makes sense that we would be 3 points short. Yeah, no doubt, Ron, no doubt. You will receive an email by Pro. How much indicator after free trial? $4.99, Mr. Mayer, Mayer, Maier, Mayer. I'm saying that right, Mayer? I think. I'm not going to say I'm uniquely talented at pronouncing names, but it is not. No, it's not monthly. No, off. It is not monthly. It's a lifetime access. I don't really believe in subscriptions. I don't know. This is a philosophical thing. I have had multiple people tell me I should do a subscription for it, but something about just owning the thing and having it forever just seems way more appealing than like renting it. Like imagine you do really well with this system, and then you have to pay for it every month. I don't know. I'd rather you guys just own it and you have it, and then I get to update it, and we get to all just continue to trade this thing and any other tool that gets built, into or on top of this as well. So I prefer lifetime access, but yeah, nice SSJ, great work, brother. Awesome work. Awesome, awesome. And I don't even know if you're a dude, SSJ. I just said brother, so my apologies. Not to be gender specific, but to be very excited for you. Great work. Awesome work. You guys love now. I love posting your guys' results. Makes me happy. Fills my heart. Fills me up with joy. All right. So we're definitely trying to push and continue this upward movement, but this is so ugly. This is like the ugliest of ugly. All right. So genuinely, what I feel needs to happen is price needs to come down and like make this red because it's going to be red. Oh, I can make it bigger. Oh, nice. I feel like price needs to come down a little bit. Like we're gonna have to like come down, pop up, come down, pop up, come down, bottom out, and then price can make a new like continue its high. I feel like that's what it's going to take for price to uncork a little bit. Like we kind of need price to reset before we can get some smooth movement. This isn't, again, none of this is ugly. And again, when I get the final update back, I say final as in just most recent. When I get the update back, it's going to look like this inside the channel. So it should be a little bit clearer for you guys to read and for me also to read like what's going on in here. And then the signals will appear when price closes outside the channel up or down. Like that's when they'll appear. Only because people ridiculously trade every single signal, and then they ask me why it didn't win every trade, and I'm like, I don't know how to like, I don't know how to say this, but don't trade every signal. So anyway, so those will appear. That will stop showing up, and then that'll just be an update that you guys get. So don't worry about that. Indicator work all time frames and assets. Everybody chance to extend your 499 sale. There'll be a chance for you to extend your 499 sales. Snoopy, what does that mean? 499 sales. It is SSJ. It absolutely is looking like a slow grind up. It is. Indicator work on all times and frames and assets. So Jack, that's a good question. To be like frank with you, I only trade NQ on a 1 minute chart. Now I have swung some options to great success with this as well, and I'm using like a 3 and 4 hour chart with that. I kind of like a long right here, but I just need to see something else here first. I don't know what it is, but I need to see something else here. I can't put my finger on it, but I just need to see something else before I take this long here. Didn't pull back enough. Which is one. This candle did, but it was horrendous. This one did too, but it was also tough. So let's see if we can get price to really break out. Now we've got 5 candles in a row and our average is about 2.5. So odds are kind of telling me that we're going to get a red candle here soon. This could be the one, but we're going to wait and be patient here. So discount day, I'm referring to that. Yeah, Snoopy, yeah, it'll say that way. When I don't do like full on like discounts, like whatever, it's $4.99 right now. It'll never be cheaper than that. So that if that's what I thought that's what you're referring to. No, you'll have your full free trial time to take advantage, and then once that's over, if you decide to jump in, you'll pay whatever price it currently is, whatever that is. Okay, so really rejecting here. All right. So this is kind of what I was hoping to see. Selfishly, I was kind of hoping to see price come down here because if it went long again, I feel like I'd be forced to kind of jump into that trade because it fits everything I'm looking for. And it just would have been, I'd have been pretty nervous about that one. But now I'm a little bit more excited about this. So we get price to reject, good. And then if we can get, so here's what we get. I'm gonna draw this relief and make this smaller though. How do I make it like, there we go, thicker, and let's make it like blue or something. All right, so we're getting this. Price pushes up a couple times, boom, straight back down. Price pushes up a little bit, straight back down. If we get price to push up again and then come back down, we should get like this. And like this right here would be our trade, okay? And then obviously we could trade all of this over here as well. So let's just wait and see what happens. But we're seeing price continue to make these, well, recently at least, these higher highs and these higher lows, higher highs, okay, higher lows. All right, and we can just read the rejection labels to kind of see that. Like if we try to connect our red rejection labels, it looks like this, right? So we see that. And then depending on how you want to draw this for the green ones, it's looking like something like this, or even more like, probably more reasonably like this. So give me that one. So we'll see. But now here we go. Now we got price pushing down a little bit. Okay, good. Okay. Do I need to see price push all the way outside the channel first before I take this short trade? Not necessarily, but for a day like today, yes. And the reason for that is we are obviously look how far we are above VWAP. Like it is obviously a long day, so going short is going to be very difficult. And so I would need to see a lot for price to convince me that going short makes sense as opposed to just waiting for a long to set up. Now you can look at our average rejection streak box here and it'll tell you all you need to know, which is we've got a lot more greens in a row than red. And all that simply means is that there's just more buying going on right now than selling, which is apparent by how this appears. 2 reds, 3 reds, 4 greens, 2 greens, 3, 3. So we'll see. But we got buyers stepping in at these lower prices, accepting it. The problem is we have sellers also stepping at these higher prices and accepting it as well. So that's going to be pretty difficult. Tagged it to the penny. Paper trading, nice. Good job. Good work, Ron. Take profit on 1 hour fair value gap. Nice. So it did end up hitting that level. Let's see. It did get to that point. Great work, Ron. Awesome job, buddy. Great work. Nice. Perfect. Well, that is great. All right. Well, if you guys are new around here, make sure you guys like the live stream and you subscribe to the channel if you are already not subscribed. Make sure we continue to look at the 1 hour chart. So clean. Let's look at it, Ron. It is very clean. Very clean. Nice. It is super clean. Problem is it's hard to trade because these candles are so big. How big are these candles? 70, 80 points. God bless. These huge. Big old candles. Yeah, it's very clean. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So now we got price to kind of reset. So now this is smoother price action here. So we talked about this before. I'll continue to mention it here. I need to make this a little bit less strong. All right. Talked about this before. We have price starting to kind of like starting to uncork a little bit, and we're getting these nicer moves. We should get price to come up here and go back down. Like this is a little bit easier to trade. That's a trade. That's a trade. That could be a trade. That could be a trade. So if we get price to continue to move this way, which is a couple in a row, and that's all we're really looking for is a couple of these candles in a row, a couple in a row, a couple in a row. We should be able to start timing these up a little bit better. And then I'm not calling for a short up here, but this looks like a reasonable place to place a couple sell limits and then we could probably punch price back down. We'll see. Now, it also makes sense to also say that somewhere around here, if price gets right around here, put a couple buy limits. I put a buy limit somewhere right below this level and see if we can grab that and let price, roll back up. So we'll see. Okay, price hits our target and goes up. Again, I want to make sure that I keep this off the charts while it's in the zone, because this is how it will look in the future. And whether that's later today or tomorrow, that update will occur. Do I have a Zoom? I'm sorry, do I have a Discord channel? No, off. Fatal, I do not. No Discord. I'll be honest with you, I don't like Discord at all. I honestly, I'd prefer to just everybody have their first name and last name like somewhere. It makes it really nice, so I can talk to you while knowing your name. It's very difficult to have a conversation with somebody and they've got like their username that's just, who knows what it is. Um, so I prefer first name, last name, and Discord is just it. When you build a big enough community in Discord, like what it's supposed to be is very active and a lot of chit chatting. And to be honest with you, like I really just don't want to do all the chit chatting. Like I just want to trade. I want to make a couple of videos for you guys so you understand kind of what's going on. And then we jump back on here tomorrow and do the same thing. But so no Discord. I'm just not a huge fan of it. It's not really my thing. But so we have the group chat on Instagram. What I'll end up doing, and I'll put this up to a vote probably, is we'll have to find a more centralized place for everybody to congregate. That could be like school.com, that could be Instagram, that could be WhatsApp, that a group chat on WhatsApp, it could be Discord if you guys prefer that. If you really prefer it, it could be Discord. But we'll figure it out. I think I have now over 500 of you guys either have done the free trial or have purchased access to it. So I got a nice sample size of what works and what doesn't work. But one thing is for sure, we do want to have a nice place for everybody to get together and share ideas. School is great, Laura. So Laura, I'm pretty new to the school like concept. I have seen some people on there that do very well with it. I think school, the way I would do it is it would just be like a free community, or I'd probably have two. I'd have like the people who have lifetime access, and then the free community, which you could be part of both. And then from there, like we would just chit chat back and forth all day. That probably sounds like the right thing to do. It's just not everybody is. It's a newer app, so not everybody goes on the app, which is the other tricky part. That's the only thing about school that I found to be interesting is because I'm thinking I'm in school for I purchase mentorships and coachings for different things all the time. That's just like it's kind of who I am, and a few people are on school. I just don't open the app, which is the hardest part, and I have no notifications on my phone. I do not get notified for anything at any time. If I want to go look at something, I have to go find it. And so school is just like I don't go on school. It's not like Facebook you'd go on because it's entertaining. Instagram you go on because it's entertaining. YouTube you go on there because it's entertaining. But school is not in the like regular rotation of apps that I'll open up every day. So tricky. Like that's the only part is everything would be right there, but I have to like change behavior of learning, and that can be hard. So, Laura, I'm with you. I think I like school a lot, but even me personally, I don't treat it the way that I would like it to be used if I was going to do it. So we'll figure it out. We will get price to move. Price will move, and we will get a trade. Now, here's what I'm kind of seeing right now. I don't want an info line thing. Right here. Boom, boom. Okay. I'm starting to see this a little bit. I'm starting to see this. So buyers are taking lower prices. So I get that. But I'm starting to see price push down, couple up, push down, couple up, push down. We'll see if this one gives me a nice push down. Starting to see that pattern, which I think could lead us. And here's our push down again. So kind of right in order like we thought. I'm going to need to see price to get out of here first, and then we could take a short. So let's see. Todd, school is cool. Okay, a little rhyme action there, nice. Ron, having your Discord, Ron, I basically just like shut it down. I wasn't using it anymore. And then there was one, I made that, Ron, remember a long time ago, it wasn't that long ago, but remember a long time ago, I made it's like the trend meter or something. I don't remember what it was called. Like, yeah, but it was like a trend meter. I made that in there. And I still had the community open and I had a bunch of automated signals going out. You had your alerts, yes. And it just wasn't like useful, impactful. And then once I moved away from trading that exact strategy, I was like, eh. And then what I was going to do was actually put out some automated alerts for every time this indicator gave a signal. It'd probably be on a higher time frame. But I checked out of that one. I just didn't like the idea, and I really didn't want to get into the signals game of like, hey, let's give some signals out. Um, because at the end of the day, like if you're trading off signals, it's going to be very hard to have long-term success. I get trading with a certain style, like the same person, like you guys trading with me live, but you're not waiting for me to say buy here, sell here. You're just looking for some analysis to confirm or deny what it is that you're already seeing. That's a completely different game than buy here, sell here. And so I just didn't want to get into that. It just wasn't what I was looking for. Just wasn't what I was looking for. All right, so we got price rejecting here. So now we kind of have the inverse, what we had before. So we had a melt up before. Now we kind of have this, it doesn't look like it, but kind of this melt down a little bit, which is big, and then a couple reversals, big, couple reversals, big, maybe a reversal or two right here, and then another boom, we could slap down. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. We're still inside the Express account. We're up like 20 bucks for today. So we were down 4 in change. So we got bailed out of that one. We were in what trade? Is this one right here? I went long on this candle right here, somewhere in here. My fill was up here. Raced down on us, pulled back. This one raced up. We ended up making like some money. I could have gotten out a little bit later, but I didn't. But that was a tough one. Okay, so let's turn these off for a second. Okay, long right there potentially for a price to push up. When you're trading inside the channel, it's going to be very random. It's very, very random. Price can do whatever. And so you're not really looking for a whole lot of action in here. You just want to find your spot and go. Now we are sitting at, the ATR's at 14. That's probably going to push us to 2 contracts inside of our Express account. So we'll be patient on that one. Still waiting for the confirmation from Topstep, by the way, to get the payout that I requested. And then once I get that, which should come later today or tomorrow, my assumption would be, actually, it'll be a little bit. Then I'll group trade these 2 accounts. Once we get a payout from this account, then we'll go and we'll add a third. And then once we get a payout from that account, we'll add a fourth, and then we'll add a fifth, and then we'll be trading 5 accounts. All right. So price pushing here. Okay, pull back, good. Buy right there potentially. See if we can get price to go up here. Now, a couple of trade ideas that you guys can look for. There we go. That's kind of what I was thinking would happen. I thought we'd keep going though. Is we have price pushing outside the channel. Price going back inside the channel is another great trade setup. And so when we have price consolidating inside the channel, we kind of miss out on, I think, 2 of the 3 types of trades that are the most beneficial. Okay, and the best one is when price breaks outside of a channel. Okay, and then we wait for a pullback, and then we go long, and we get ideally a nice smooth break up here. You guys saw me take that trade over here, didn't work out in my favor, ended up turning around because we were trading the right direction, which is why we always trade the trend. Right, we always trade the movement that we're trying to see here. But that one was tough, but that was a trade setup. The other trade setup is if price is outside the channel, it races back in. That is another great one. Now, ideally, we have price like extend super far. So this is not the best example of it, but price outside the channel, pushes down again, touches VWAP, dance, and then price melting back in the channel. Like this is a really easy and simple way to see price and trade it. This would be a really good trade. This would have been a hard one to catch, but a really good trade. But price getting back inside the channel is going to be a really easy setup to find and trade. That one would have been hard. It's only 1 candle. This one would have been decent, like this candle right here potentially, maybe. That'd have been these are decent setups, but no pullbacks. So today it just hasn't really opened up for us yet. And so what I will say is, for a day like today, so far at least, these are the days where it's not best to use heroics. Like just trade normally, and if nothing comes, that you're looking for, then you just wait it out, and you see what happens later. So that's kind of what we're gonna have to do today. We'll see what you get here. It was early December, I think it was late November, early December. It was like right after I get off live stream. market opens up. It would just like start flying in a certain direction. I don't want that to be the case here again today, but it could be. So we're at 12 on the ATR. So ATR has been trending down. We'll talk about that for a second. ATR trending down, which all that means is that these candles are smaller. The candles are just smaller than they were before. Now, what that means is that I can add a little bit of risk. I can add a couple contracts. Reason for that is, well, now instead of needing 10 points to get to my 200 bucks, I just need 5, which also means that I could be wrong 5 points and maybe get blown out pretty fast. But because this candle is moving between 10, 12, and like 13 points, that would be a major move on one of these candles. And so I should be able to get my price target, assuming I have good analysis, pretty easily. So when the ATR is lower, you can add more contracts because it takes more movement for price to actually get where it's looking to go. It takes a lot. JH subscribe by indicator. Yeah, it's in the it is in the description. It certainly is. Now, you guys, I am not. It's very obvious here, but so Jay, you can request a free trial first on the top link, and then there is the Instagram community that you can join as well. Which I need to change that one. I need to update that link. And then there is the free course, which will get emailed to you after you try the free trial. And then if you want to purchase, it's also inside of the. It is inside. Once you get the free course, it's at the very bottom. If you want to upgrade to lifetime access, it is there. It is there. Okay, 31 of you guys watching, which is okay. So I'll get to that in a second. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow. My goal is to hit 1,000 subs here in the next couple weeks. By the end of next week, we should be at 1,000 subs. That's a very aggressive goal, but we should get there pretty quick. Okay, so how do we process movement like this? Well, we have a couple ways to do it. All right, and my face is kind of big, so my apologies if I cut anything off. Let me shrink that just a little bit. Okay, when you have these big candles like this, you're expecting big movement. Okay, what happens? What follows a big candle is also another big candle, or at least big movement in a certain direction. And so we get this huge move up. Seems pretty random, like nothing that we should be expecting. No news or anything. Then we get this thing to pop up here again. So this is a critical do not chase. Like big candle right here, do not chase. Now when you get these massive candles, you have to give them room to breathe, which is why you want to wait for a pullback. Now this candle opened up green, then went red, then it closed green. So that's a different like analysis altogether. That's a different set of looking at these trades. But this is kind of what you would expect after this green candle. This is kind of what I was expecting, a nice big pullback. Now the question is this green candle, is this like buyers are saying, hey, price is like this asset is worth more than 21,868? Like, is that the case? Like, and then we're trying to see if we can price explore and go a little bit higher, recently go higher. Or are we basically saying, hey, we're basically trying to just make a huge push up and see if we can get price to fly up here, take some profit, and then we jump out of the market and we get back to equilibrium. So it kind of looks like price is just like, hey, we made a little pop, had a little bit of an outlier right here, bit of an outlier up here a couple times, and then now we're going to settle back in. That's kind of what we're seeing right now. We have big price movement, okay, big outlier wick up here, and here, settle back in. Big movement down here, settle back in. Big move up here, settle back. Big down here, we're going to maybe see if we can settle back in here. Now, it's also possible that price goes ahead and takes off again. So if this is the case, great. Maybe we'll have ourselves a nice little long. But we're going to wait to see what price wants to do with that level first. So we will see. Now, the other concept to keep in mind is that these wicks do get filled. So at some point, we will see, we kind of saw it right here, but this wick down here will get filled at some point. This one will definitely get filled at some point. And then these up here will get filled at some point. So at some point, price will, these candles are crazy. So that's ATR's at 14. That's still pretty high. Maybe we'll chunk down to one contract if we get into a trade, but there's just nothing for us to really look at here. So nothing. I'm sure there's a trader out there who has a specific name for what these candles are. These double wick up tops. I'm sure, but okay. So I'm kind of seeing price coming down here. I don't know what else to really say. Like we had Wick touch and reject there. We had one right there, and then we had two basically reject this level ish right there. So lot of resistance. But then we just have a ton of support. Like everywhere you look, there's a ton of support. So I'm not too terribly sure where price wants to be. I am not too terribly sure just yet. Nice. Great work. Okay, another trader up 300 bucks today. We'll take that. Maybe SSJ is selling. Maybe that is him. Maybe they are one and the same. Putting it together. We are still bullish. Yep, I agree. I agree. I think we are still very bullish here. I think we've got price still trying to move its way up, but we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. So got 31 of you guys watching. I think that's a record for our channel. So very happy to have everyone here. Hopefully we can catch a couple trades to put ourselves in a good spot. We're up 20 bucks today, so nothing. We've completely wasted our time so far. It feels like we still have. So there are probably a couple opportunities that I could have been more aggressive on. For example, right in here, like these pullbacks right here, I think the average streak was above 2 on these, and so this would have been an easy trade to catch, and then so would have this one. This one would have been tougher, but these two I think I could have easily caught. I think. Let's see. We got to go live at 9. Other than that, that's probably about it. Maybe this candle, but I would say probably these two are the most that stick out to me. Like, hey, we probably could have caught these and taken that trade, which I understand. I agree with that. But nothing up here so far. Nothing here. If this candle had this candle potentially, but it ended up being red, so and it retraced the entire previous candle, so no, nothing yet. Nothing yet. After the break and retest on a 5-minute or take to my trade, turned out well. Nice. Good job. Nice work, Jay. Futures such as other futures. Now, Snoopy, yes. Yes, it works for other futures as well. The strategy like will work on any asset. I just decided to trade NQ because it moves the fastest and I really enjoy the way it moves and I think I can predict it pretty well. But the philosophy will work on any asset, yes. You just have to practice. Like one thing about new traders, here I'll say this in a different way. When you're new to trading, a lot of times you're looking for the asset that will help you make the most money, but that's the wrong place to be looking. You have to become the type of trader who can make money trading any type of asset, and then you find the one you prefer the most. And so, if you're really good at trading NQ, just trade NQ. Don't go looking for gold, oil, or the S&P or the Russell 2000 or anything else. Like, just trade the thing that you like and that you've known and you've traded the most of. Any strategy, as long as it's for this, the right asset, will probably work across multiple different other assets. So if this one works for NQ futures, it'll probably work for the ES, probably work for crude oil. It'll probably work for stocks too, which I know it does. I actually use it to make some real money trading stocks, so I know that. But it's not going to make you like you're not going to go from not profitable, find the asset, and become like a profitable, like really rich trader. That's not how it works. Like that's not the progression of being a trader. You have to be a good trader, and then eventually you optimize everything for okay, I make the most money or I lose the least amount of money when I trade this asset. I'm going to double down on this. But that comes after looking at the results. Very rarely can you look at an asset and say, if I trade that one, I'm going to be rich, and if I trade this other one, I'm going to be broke. It just won't work that way. So yes, it works for all assets. Find the asset that you like the most, and then just spend all your time looking at that. Don't look at anything else. Just look at that one specific asset and nothing else. All right, we got strong rejections all in here. Like this is brutal. Is that black? I don't know why that's black, but that's ugly. And maybe make it some see-through at least. Damn. So all in here is just gross. Gross. Now we haven't had this in a while yet, Ever since I've been live this year and then after Christmas and going into Christmas too, the ATR has not been this low. It's been pretty rare that we have an ATR sitting at 13 at this time of the day in the past like 3 to 4 weeks. We haven't really seen this level of choppiness has not existed um, this early in the morning for the past month, I'll say, or so, maybe even a little more than that. We've had a lot of opportunities typically. So today is a non-typical day in comparison to the past, 20 trading days that we've had where the stock market's been open. So even the day before we had Christmas Eve was crazy. We had the day after Christmas that was crazy. We had New Year's Eve that was crazy. So even the holidays we had really good movement. But today, oof. So I am very confident that this thing is going to open up and give us a new move. Like I know it will, but we're just not seeing it right now. And so maybe we can spend a little bit extra time on live today than we usually do. But I'm not seeing anything good right now. J Deals Direct. Yes, sir. Great work. Breaking retest on 5 minute. Good work. Good job. Good, good, good. Let's see what we got here. Nice. Great work. 15. That's awesome. We'll see. Yeah, Ron, we will certainly we'll find out. I know that. I know that. Hmm. Again, over here, long, if we can get price to hold up here. And really, if we can just get price to like hold in this region where we've seen all these wicks previously, like we would get ourselves a decent little move. Like if we can just get price to like open and close in this region, like then we have a chance to boom, pop and run. But we're not even getting that. So we're gonna have to just wait and see. We're obviously our here's our streak over here, 2.35 to 1.5. So we're obviously getting like very solid, um, you know, green movement. It gets punched down so fast, so violently that it is very difficult to put real money on a trade like this. Here's a great example of that. It's very difficult to do that. Yep. Yeah, Ron, we'll certainly see what the 1 hour does. I'm just not sure what Price wants to do just yet. Um, so we'll wait, be patient, and we'll see. Okay. I expect this candle to be red, but we'll see. I've thought about this rejection chart right here. I've thought about making it like have the average number of points, but that's what the ATR is, number one. But then number two, people would anticipate it moving in a certain direction, up or down, and so I opted out of that. I think this chart could use one more feature. I just don't know what it is yet, but that'll be a project that I continue to work on this year, making this chart a little bit more. You can't say guarantee. That's the wrong word altogether. But making it so that like this data you can like almost take it to the bank or say, you know what, because I see this data, I know what's coming. Counting the average number of candles makes sense because I said this candle would be red, and there it is, big red, because it's over 1.5. So like that is easy to see, but maybe there's some additional data that could happen that we could figure out, but we'll see. All right, so price pushing up here. Okay, you got nothing. Yes, off fatal. The idea, 80%, I would say, 80% of um, the software, yes, I created. So, and then everything after that, like the visuals, doing the visuals is kind of tough for me. I try to copy other indicators and kind of what they do, but it's just not really my style. And so I hire out people I have consistently three different people or teams, I guess, that I'll hire to make some small adjustments for me if I need it. So yes, for the most part, the idea, obviously, but then the creation of some of these things, yeah, isn't too difficult once you get the hang of it. It just takes a while. All right. Hmm. Okay. Little meltdown here. We will see. We will see. We will see. How's everyone's morning going so far? Any big wins so far? We had a couple folks make a few $100, which is great. That's nice. Had another trader make $1,500 on his Topstep combine. So that was great, which is awesome. So hopefully everybody's having a great morning this morning, and we can finish out strong here. Should make a Discord. Apex Combine, J Deals. Nice. Nice. J Deals Direct. Great work, Beast. RJB. I'm going to send you the link directly here. I'm going to take you straight to the PayPal. Here, it's in the comments now. There you go. If you want to get there. Off fail. So walk me through this, and I'm okay. We have nothing going on right now, so I'm okay. But talk me through it. What would the Discord offer that um, is not available right now? Because maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Maybe it's like taking a bad trade. You just see it wrong. What is the value of a Discord if we're not giving signals away in there? And we really can't do a ton of coaching because it's all message, and so not everybody's going to pick it up. Help me understand that. Stopped when I got 7 total. Nice, Mike. Great fucking work. Great. Nice. You guys are awesome. You guys are killing. I love this. I freaking love this. Nice. Oh, Jay Deals. I am just with you. Jay, I am with you through and through. I think it's a massive distraction. Let's see if we can get a trade right here. But I'll show you kind of what. Hold on, let me update these here, and we'll. Guys, and to be honest with you, I really prefer to be taking a bunch of trades right now, but there just isn't a whole lot. Shares, talk to people about a system, we can all help each other. Yeah, yeah, maybe, kind of. The thing about using any sort of trading system is that there are people like me who I'm very like very singular in everything that I do. I get obsessed about something specifically, and then I focus on that and that thing only. It's the way I eat my food, it's the way I work out, it's the way I do any trading, anything. So there's me, and there's nothing on my chart that you guys see that you don't, if you want a free trial or want to purchase, that you can't have. It's one. But some people have a ton of stuff on their chart, including this strategy and dozens of other ones. And so what ends up happening is if you don't have everybody trading the exact same thing, you get people with experience talking to people who are new, and it goes over their head. And so everybody's confused. And so it's one of the reasons why I haven't been too strong about peer-to-peer coaching, because at the end of the day, trading is going to be like, there shouldn't be too many voices in your head about what to trade and what to see. Because every time I go long, obviously someone else is going short. And if I go short, someone else is going long. And we both could be correct based on what we're trying to go for. And it's hard to say which one like is better. So I don't know. I've never really been a huge fan of getting, even in the mentorships and coachings that I've purchased, I pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this stuff because there's only one way to get better, and it's to buy from people who are just ahead of you in your journey and whatever that is. So whether it's trading or it's learning how to like go live and do this with you guys or anything else, like even if it could be who knows what. So I buy courses all the time for certain things and mentorship. And the thing that I appreciate the most is there's one specific strategy, and we use that strategy, and there's no other in between. There's nothing else that we're talking about. Oh, we'll buy this thing and do that thing. So that makes it a little bit difficult for me when it comes to Discord, because I've been in those chats, in those rooms with traders who are really good. And I still have a couple of them, I think. And everybody's using a bit of a different strategy. And so it's like when one guy has a good day, it's like, oh, let's all do that one. And then this guy has a good day, the next, oh, let's all do that one. And so it never really builds anything. It ends up just being this big cluster of, I'm part of this Discord channel, but for the most part, I don't see people like really taking the leap as far as their trading success goes, like one-on-one coaching might, or just trading one specific system. So that's kind of my 2 cents. But again, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Jay, I agree with you. I agree with you. We got 38 people watching. This is a record. Happy to have everyone here. If you haven't already, make sure you like the live stream and subscribe. 38 folks is crazy. That's way more than I've ever had. So really appreciate you guys tuning in. But yeah, I think the live. I think you guys seeing me do it live. Like if I am not good at this live and I don't trade well live, then like don't use my system. And if I do well, then like just mimic what I'm doing. But there are traders who use what I have, and then another 10 to 15 other things. Which is if it works for them, it works for them. But I think going live just makes it the easiest. You guys can comment as well, which makes it really fun as well for me, and then for you guys too. Because we this when we get to I'm sure like 1,000 or 2,000 people, it'll be hard to keep up with everybody. But for now, it's really nice to just have a nice conversation with folks. A couple comments over here and there. I've been predicting modeling in conjunction with the Squeeze Pro indicator used like channels winning. Yeah. So there you go, like Javier, like great work. So like that's what I mean. Let me touch on this. Great work. There's nothing wrong. I don't use a Squeeze Pro. I don't think. Yeah. 11 trades is crazy. 11 trades is crazy. Javier, I'm not gonna be Mr. One Up guy right now, but in these Express accounts, I am now 11 for 11 as well. So we're gonna see what shakes. I'm gonna go for your record, buddy. I don't even mean to be Mr. Competitor, but we happen to have the exact same amount of wins in a row. And today we might not get another trade, just look by the way things go. But awesome work, awesome work. So like Javier is a great example where he uses the predictor model, which is great, and then he has another indicator that he looks at as well, and he uses that in conjunction. Fantastic. So from there, like that works for him. I think I've tried the Squeeze Pro before. I'm pretty sure that's just like a free indicator on TradingView. If I'm correct, maybe the Pro one isn't, but there's a Squeeze one on here. I tried it and I was like, it's not for me. I don't like it, and so don't work for me. But that doesn't mean what Javier's doing is wrong or what I'm doing is right. It just means we're different. And so that's what I mean by Discord. We can start getting the channels. Some people trade support and resistance. Some people trade trends. Some people trade candlestick patterns. Like everybody has their own thing. And so I don't want to confuse anybody or add multiple things that, I don't know, could keep you from being successful. At the end of the day, you get paid as a trader for making the right decisions. And if you have too many things to consider, you can't possibly make the right decision at the right time. And so, with that being the case, I like to keep it as simple as possible. Correct, RJB. That's right. The kind of like comma to that is as long as it doesn't prevent you from overanalyzing and taking trades too late, okay, or too early, whichever one is part of your system. You can have 15,000. I don't care how many indicators you have on your chart. I'm not saying that that's even wrong, because some people just have the kind of brain that processes all that stuff very well. What I'm saying is that most people have too much on their chart and it makes it way too confusing for them, and so they end up either, what usually happens, they chase trades, they jump into them like way too late, and then they jump into a buy up here and they get punched out, and they're like, well, like I don't know what I did wrong. It's like, well, you chased it, and the reason you did it is because you didn't have the proper speed of analysis that you needed to catch this move, because you could have made money right there. But so that is my 2 cents. It's not like a back and forth. It's not I'm right and or you're wrong. It's more of a, that's just how I see things, and I truly can only coach somebody the way I see stuff. I can't pretend that I see things a different way or that I do things differently than I do. So for me, this is what it looks like. My chart is very straightforward, and I'm sure somebody else looks at this chart and says there's too much information. Some people look at it and think it's not enough. So again, different strokes for everybody, but that's my 2 cents, if that makes sense. Good morning. Good morning, Jay Strohs. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I would say 41 people watching. That's crazy. Happy to have everyone here. That's nuts. It's a record for us. So happy to have everyone. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. I assume most of you guys are, but if you aren't, like and subscribe. But yeah, being a trader is about two things. You have your analysis, and then you have your execution, and that's it. You analyze what you think you're seeing, and then you execute on that hypothesis. That's it. And so if it takes more indicators, and here's the thing, when you're a newer trader, it does take more tools and different things to start to understand, because it's new to you. You want more and more and more. Even if Brendan's in the chat, he can even tell me. Yeah, the cleaner the better. If my younger brother Brendan is in the chat, he could tell you as well. So when he starts out, we talked about this, and then as he got better, but he's still new, he adds more and more indicators and different things to his chart. As you get better, you start winding that down. You're like, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. Like these three things kind of do the same thing, so I can cut two of them out. As you get better as a trader, you will need less. And so, like, and then you have to know yourself. So the channel, as an example, I didn't include the channel at first because all I had was the signals. Let me show you. And so I'll walk you guys through this. Let's be more of an educational topic today. Okay. So I don't know why that one's showing up still. 0 and 0, right? All right, whatever. Pretend it's not there. We have all these signals, right? And some of them would work really well and some of them wouldn't. I was like, I wonder what that's about. And so I kept taking just a ton of trades. Trade, figure it out. And then I would zoom out and I would say like, okay, bro, like trading this nonsense makes no sense. This is not productive. You're not gonna make money if prices bouncing back and forth like that. It doesn't matter how good of a trader you are. No one's gonna be consistently profitable trading back and forth candles like this. I was like, okay, so what can I do to add kind of a buffer for me to not take trades? Okay, well, I'll throw the Keltner on there and just say, okay, cool. And so now I know, okay, if price is inside, then if I do want to take that trade, I know it's a risk, one. But the second thing is it's very choppy and I don't have to take a trade in there if I don't want to. So I'm looking for price to break out. And today's a bad example of using the system because there just isn't a ton of breakouts per se. But then I thought, okay, if price is going to chop, I do want something to help me out. And that's where we get these rejection labels. Let's see if we can get a long right here. And I don't think we're going to get it on this candle, but I think the next candle has the potential. So this candle makes a move up, great. Let's see if this candle can close green and like be green. We have a chance, and it has to close up a bit higher. So it needs to close above that. If this candle can close above this level right here, then we can get ourselves a nice pullback and then we can go long. If this is a real move, we don't need to chase this one and wait for the next one. So let's see, we get 30 seconds to figure it out what price wants to do here. Yep. Yep. Yeah. So there's that. That's why we say don't chase any trades. Um, always wait for a pullback because again, like there is some ding dong that purchased way up here. Like they bought all the way up here, bought, thinking price is going to go up, and they got blown out. And not all of them are going to be prop firm traders. A lot of them are trading their own capital, and they have a very very rough start to the week. So we got to be patient here. We got to wait, and this is partially what the channel is for. And again, like as a trader, I was taking all of these trades. My origin story is chasing these trades. I'm not speaking to you guys as if I just made this shit up in my sleep one time. Like all of these wicks are me probably catching these trades up here, and getting whacked out. I'm like, what is going on? And so for me, just like it will be for all of you guys, like you'll have a system that you use, and then there will be things that you add on top of it, your own flavor, your own sauce, your own like. I kind of see things a little bit differently. Here's how I want to do it, and that's what's going to make you a really good trader. That's going to be your edge. Having a system is really good. That's like 85% of the battle. But then what's going to take you to like getting rich or making like a ton of money trading, like not having to worry about money type of trading, is going to be your own flavor on top of that. And to be honest with you, like it's probably not going to be like a bunch of indicators. It just won't. It'll be your own little pattern recognition that you like, I kind of see things here and I'm going to use that. Now it could be an indicator as of the way it sees things, but very rarely is it going to be more indicators to get you across the line of that 15%. Again, I think most traders are decent. Like I think most people can win 50% of their trades. It's getting to like that 25% to 75% or so. It's very difficult, or it's really hard to cap your losses at a certain level as well. It's very difficult to do that, especially when you're down big. You're like, oh man, my pride's involved now, and I don't want to be wrong. It's hard to do that kind of stuff. Before you call it a day, that was me. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're the only one to admit it, but you're not alone. when will I get on my trading view off fatal? If you just requested access like this morning and before I was live, then you'll get it after. 47 folks watching. Let's turn up. Let's go. Mike, how many losses do you before I call it a day? So good question. For me, it just depends on what my losses look like. First off, if I have a couple small losses, then like maybe I'm okay. And the type of loss that you take, it really depends. So Paris says 2 losses. That's a very straightforward answer. Here's what I would say. When you're trading, there are like a couple ways you can lose a trade. Obviously, the first way is the most obvious, which is like you chase a trade and it goes against you, and you're just being really emotional. Like that's a bad trade, and you gotta stop right there. Like you get one of those. You get one emotionally charged bad trade, and you gotta stop. And you don't have to stop. Just go from a money account to a demo account. Okay, like you don't have to stop trading. Just stop you risking your own money, whatever that is, prop firm money, your personal capital, whatever it might be. Okay, that's one. Now, if you get, so I had one of these trades, I made 20 bucks. That we could chalk that up to being a loss for the amount of effort and sacrifice I had to go through just to get that money. If I have a couple of those where my analysis was mostly correct, but like it drew down a little bit further on me before it was correct, that I'm okay trading through as long as my account's not blown up and as long as my loss isn't too big and I'm not taking too much risk. I will take 2 or even 3 of those. I'm okay with that as long as, again, my losses aren't that big. But if I just completely misread a chart, like if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go long, like right here, and it goes back, and I'm not being emotional. I'm just like, I think this is a good trade. Or I'm gonna go short right here, and okay, price pushes up. If you're just misreading it, like it could be if you got bad sleep in the night before, if you're dealing with things outside of trading, it could be maybe you're distracted, like one and done. Like you get one of those and you're out. So for me, I would say between 1 and 2, but some people just trade, like if you trade one contract consistently while the market is very choppy, you could be down 80 bucks and that could be 3 losses, which isn't a big deal. And so you can keep trading because one win would capture all that back for you. So I think it's very subjective, and there's not a one answer fits all, because a lot of traders, they take one loss and it blows up their entire account. And so they get one loss in the day, which is a very, very difficult way to trade. To me, it just depends. I don't take too many losses. That's a true statement. But I don't take too many huge losses that cost me everything. Like that doesn't happen. And so because of that, I can usually trade a little bit longer. But if I take 2 losses in a day, I'm like, yeah, this kind of sucks. But it just depends. If I have 6 wins and 2 losses, I'm cool with that. Um, but there's no stop. I would say you just have to decide. Like I'm 16 minutes over what I usually like to be trading, because we haven't had anything. So we'll probably call it a day here soon, but like whatever. But if the market's moving and you're seeing a couple things and you just misread 1 or 2, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yes. Laura, both. The answer is yes to that. Yes. Wait for price to get outside the channel. Yes. And for that thing to turn blue. Yes. Um, Laura, if I had to like prioritize one over the other, what I would say is I prioritize price being outside the channel. That's number one. The choppiness down here, the trend versus choppy, like that is second to me. Because if price is outside the channel, I know I've got some movement. But this being blue would help. But I want to see price outside of these lines first. The lines are basically math. Like the average range of price, compressed, divided. Like, okay, this is where price should be. And I'm looking for outliers. I'm looking for price to roll out of this zone here first. Maybe a pull back here and go long. I'll go short rather. Okay. Pull back. Not yet. Okay. Okay. So how we handle this candle here, I think is very simple. It goes back to the same price action strategy I want to use every time. If I'm looking for a short, obviously, right? Rejection up here, price pushes down or outside the channel. I'm obviously looking for a short. But if price opens and runs to take profit first before hitting our sell zone or even getting close to our sell zone, right? This channel here, then that's not a trade for me. Okay, it's not. And just the theory that I have built is if it opens up opposite of the trend, it's going to continue that trend. If it opens up with the trend, it's going to take off on you and you don't have a chance, or it's going to take off and pull back, to which, again, you don't want to be involved in. And so this candle here is tough. this one right here would need to pull back a lot, and then potentially we'd go down, but we're just not. Today's the kind of day where you have to exercise and flex your discipline over your trading ability. Today is that day. And a lot of you guys have made some money today, which is fantastic. I've made 20 bucks again. Like I'll show you, $20, $20.72. Like, whatever. But today isn't going to be the day where you grow your account. Like 80-20 rule, like 80% of your gains will come from 20% of your trading days. Today just isn't one of those, one of those 20% of the days, which is fine, which means that most days aren't going to be that, which is fine. So no heroics today. So let's see. Let's see what price wants to do here. If this next candle goes green and runs up here, then I'm not really excited about that. But if it crushes and runs down, we could have a short. But again, we'd probably get short down to 848, which would be enough room, but not enough for us to be excited about that. Okay, so again, this turns blue, which is fine. Like you could look for a long right there, and maybe price wants to run, but not with today's price action, not with these candles. Do I want to take that trade? But that would have worked out. Boom, and then run. It can repaint from time to time, so just keep an eye on that, which is why I prioritize outside the channel first over anything else. So that was actually a really good setup. That's a setup we could have seen and taken very easily. I should call that one. So I could have seen that one and taken this one, which would have been super nice. But today's just not the day, right? Today just isn't the day for us to be heroic. All right, so price is going to push up here, and I assume it's going to pull back at some point, somewhere up there or over here. There we go. Well, there's that. All right, folks, we're going to call it a day for today. We got not a whole lot going on. Maybe tomorrow we'll have some more action. I think tomorrow what we'll do is we'll do a coaching session as well in the evening. So we'll call it 6 p.m. Central Time, 6:30, somewhere. It's probably 6. We'll call it that. So if you guys have questions, you have comments, you're like, hey, I want to figure out how to use these things, then we'll talk about it there as well. So we'll go live again tomorrow like we usually do. And then tomorrow evening, we'll also have a coaching session where we can talk through some of these things. So if you guys want to tap in, I'll send an email out for that one. That I want to be off script. So anyway, you guys have a good one. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate everybody watching. Have a great rest of your day. Be patient. Don't do anything silly. And we'll be back tomorrow to make some money. See y'all.